So what I want to get out of my system is kind of like how masculinity is bullshit and how society has tricked us into believing that we have to be a certain way to be confident and to be a man. So what I want to get out is pretty much I believe since I was growing up, um, I know this is going to play into like feminism, gender roles and stuff like that. Is how we had the He-Man toys. We had the little toys and they were big and muscular and they had guns and weapons and stuff like that. And to some degree, society says that if you're going to be a man, you have to man up, you know, and you have to be unemotional. You just have to deal with it, just get over it, and you have to be strong, confident, rich, and powerful. That's pretty much the guide to being masculine in today's society. But over the years of becoming more confident with who I was, more confident of what I want to achieve in life and how I build up myself. I believe confidence is the source of masculinity, and there isn't just one type of masculinity. I mean, if you see people which are really confident, like George Clooney, he might be very masculine and stuff like that. But then you see like more extroverted celebrities and stuff like I don't know, I don't really get into celebrities these days. Kanye West, he's a different type of masculine. He's more outgoing, more powerful, and then there's some really reserved guys which are just they know who they are. They're confident, they're grounded, and that's the thing I think masculinity is even if you like painting, you like doing computer programming, which is people associate with the computer nerd, you can still be masculine and grounded and know who you are. But the thing is, I think masculinity really is knowing what you want and going for it. I mean, it's so cliche, the typical motivational quotes and stuff like that. Sure, but when I say that, I mean that it's something that you're really passionate with and something that you can do that expresses who you are. Expression, that I think is a source of masculinity, not, how big your muscles are. Because I went to the gym for 4 or 5 years, and because some girl told me that, she would have dated me, um, and she wouldn't have broken up with me if I was, bigger, more muscular. And back then, I was tiny. I was a twig. My physique was really, really small. So what I did is I went to the gym to prove her wrong, to show her I was a man. So what I did was I got really huge. I got muscular, and I pretty much hit my genetic peak for back then. But in the process, I was taking 6 supplements a day. I never took steroids in my life. I was taking creatine, I was taking whey protein, I was taking all these other things, amino acids, you name it. And to me, like from an emotional level, I thought that was being confident because people would give me compliments. And when I talked to a girl, I didn't think she liked me for who I am. No way, that's ridiculous. She actually liked me for how big my biceps were, how big my chest was. And as crazy as this might sound when you say this, on some level, some subconscious level, guys which are really massive, they actually believe this. And I know a few guys which, actually believe this and they thought, I need to go to the gym and stuff because, I want to go out and meet girls. I'm just like, you aren't coming from the right place, man. You aren't expressing who you are, you aren't being masculine and grounded. You're expecting something external. And as anyone would know that's been in relationships and stuff like that, is that no matter how big you get, how powerful and how amazing you look, once you start dating for more than 2 or 3 weeks at a time, if that's what you're gonna do, date, um, people are gonna get bored with your personality. You're gonna be dull. You're gonna be boring if you aren't confident in who you are. So then that became my kind of foundation, and I started realizing when I started losing muscle mass, and now I'm almost back to average size. I'm more happier now than I have ever been in my life. And I don't mean happy as in I'm in a good mood. I mean happy as in confident within who I am, with what I want to do in life and how I want to get there and how I approach it, how I deal with it, how I deal with other things like relationships, with money, stuff like that. It's matured me in a way that I couldn't have done myself if I was back in an old mindset. And that again is, I think, the true version of what guys should be these days. Not the stereotypical beefed up jock that tries to walk around, impress everyone with their biceps. I mean, personally, I find it hilarious when you go into clubs these days and you see guys that are up against the bar and they're flexing their muscles and their biceps in their shirts, which are two or three sizes smaller, and you can tell like they look great, they look amazing, but the girls are just like, "What are you doing? You look ridiculous. You look retarded. Trying to impress me just because you can flex your arms and you go to the gym." But they don't know that in their mindset. From their mind, they think they're doing the right thing to attract girls, like it's some primal ritual dance back in what they did back in the days. Sorry, my throat's getting dry. So yeah, and I think guys which are still brainwashed into that ideal that need to change, because that's something that you see all the time whenever you go out and whenever you meet guys which have that mindset. And I'm not sure how to change it. I'm not sure what process will we need to do, but I think that's also a gender role which has kind of indoctrinated us into believing that we have to be something we're not. And yeah, I just want to clarify that being grounded and going on discovery, just facing who you are and discovering who you are on a deep, deep level, that is more powerful than how much you can bench, how much you can leg press. Because even though it might impress people for a few minutes, give them 2 or 3 weeks when you can't carry conversation, when you can't have the social confidence to just be who you are, because that's what attracts people. That's what people want to be around. They want to be around someone which is confident, someone which is, just loves who they are, because anyone which has walked into a room and they've seen that person that just, they might not be great looking. I mean, I used to look at guys that weren't so great looking, and I never knew why. I never knew understood how they could get, girls and have great dating lives and stuff like that. It's because their charisma, their personality, who they were, just it just emanated. And that's something I started trying to master. Whereas you see the guy in the back of the room, which is all, buffed up, and he was a jock, and he said, a few words trying to be tough, and the guy's like, yeah, whatever, cool. I mean, some girls might like that, some girls do, but for the majority, speaking on the majority, I don't think most do. And yeah, that's something we need, is a society which is promoting substance, promoting who we really are.